Recording has been started.
So tell me a little bit about what you guys have been up to.
Good question. We got more information out of Grace.
True.
Victor stormed out because Grace said something. Also, Parker, I don't think you've loaded that episode because I think you were the one who.
I thought I did.
I
think I did, and then I just did not put the link in chat. I think is what happened.
Oh.
It's called Cat Got Your Tongue, right?
Yeah.
It's in chat. It's
uploaded. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I must have just completely glossed over because I intended to listen through and see if I could find the point where Victor got angry, and then just didn't.
Fair.
My bad.
Very fair.
He just was too much of a little guy, and Victor couldn't handle it.
It's a lot at
true.
once. I think it was a lot of, like, figuring out that Grace wasn't exactly the guy, unfortunately.
To be fair, I did tell Joe there was one thing he said that really like fucked her up.
I'm sure.
So
We gotta look. Snoop.
gotta snoop. Something said also fucked her up, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh god, from Soot L. Sorry, he's just like that.
Soot just says things.
He does say things, is the thing. He talks a lot.
That's also what you can say about Grace.
Woohoo.
Mm-hmm.
What
you
else?
guys had a chat with Grace. He seemed confused by the implication that he murdered Mr. Mudspin, but you guys did get out of him that, Sorry, you guys continue to recap. My dad's FaceTiming me.
Oh. I mean, there was a point that we went to
Grad
go
school.
speak with Jasper.
Yes. Speak with Jasper, sort of fill Princess in on what we found. One thing I will note about the conversation with Grace that does stick out to me is that when Victor asked if he was working with someone else, it seemed like he could not answer.
That
not
was also...
that he didn't want to, but that he could not.
And that was collaborated too with Soot, considering he listened during the conversation, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And there is a reason the title was called Cat Got Your Tongue. That was something he got in his head. So there's somebody or something keeping him from speaking about accomplices or anything of the sort. So we're gonna have to figure it out ourselves. That was not some good news from Sid, unfortunately, but, you know.
Because it actually seemed like within the limits of what he was allowed to say and how he says things, he was moderately open. It's just that within the limits of gestures at him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we go to speak to Jasper in the morning, fill him and Princess in on the situation. Princess leaves to go attend to things on the court side. And we get from Jasper that someone who might very well be Navi was the person who might have wanted the out from Mudspin.
Mm-hmm. Also,
So possibly the inciting incident to this.
Wasn't it also that she smelled like an air touched or something? Like there was something that Jasper had smelled.
She smelled like smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, smoke, but without the fiery part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't too surprising considering, like, Plane of Shadow, but it also... The pieces we have don't quite...
It was specifically smoke and not, like, darkness, right? Like, it wasn't...
Yeah, but I don't know how much that distinction actually... I don't know how much Jasper would recognize that distinction, but yes, no, I absolutely understand why we're going. Hey,
If
Navi? What the
if
fuck?
I think if it were any other DM but PK, I would be also more suspicious, but I know PK chooses words like that so intentionally, and she wouldn't
Very
have picked
well.
something with a wind or air association if they didn't want it to at least be a like red herring, you know?
Yeah, very foul. Oh,
Which that is now on recording and PK is going to bully me about it.
L.
it's fine. PK is an incredible storyteller and is weaving a fucked up little mystery for us.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
PK is gonna listen to us like they do sometimes by listening to recordings to hear friend voice and be like, "Oh." Okay, I'll be right back.
Hello?
Hello, Ganger.
Hello?
Hello!
Hi, Jamie.
Hello.
Ganger. Hello.
Hello, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling. I'm alive. But that is what is important.
Yeah, alive is good.
Yeah. How are gamers?
Okay. We're good. We're doing recap.
Yeah, PK got FaceTimed, so
PK grad
Oh,
school.
PK
yes.
grad school. They weren't lying. That grad can school.
That grad can school at 7:30 on a Wednesday night.
Yeah. Oh gosh, no, isn't it like 9:30 for y'all?
Yes,
Yep.
but that PK got the call about grad school at 7:30 on tonight, which is like
Oh my
of all the
God.
times to call.
Right? No one's doing anything at 7 o'clock. Like, the day's over. Go home.
Yeah, why are you making the grad school call now? Send an email.
Yeah, an email. Like, maybe even a text, but oh my goodness.
Anyway, yeah, so quick recap for Jamie. Tracked down Krace. He agreed to talk to us. Is not murderer. At least, well, he was the noble assassin, but not the murderer in this case.
Yeah, he didn't kill Mudspin.
We are currently suspicious of it being an inside job from the Duchess's court, but Princess, upon getting that information, basically went, I'm taking over that part of the investigation now. Bye.
Which, honestly,
And
I don't think any of us wanted to deal with the Duchess's court, so frankly,
did.
giving that to
Yeah.
Princess?
I did.
I mean, Skylar would. I Jamie did not want
Unfortunately,
to.
no political RP for you, Parker.
No, my political RP.
You don't get political RP in this game until like level 9. That's my
Unpol-
rule.
No.
Unpolitical's your RP.
And political's your RP.
But and now we genuinely believe that we need to go home and have a quick talk with Navi about what exactly her relationship with Mudspin was, and hey, fess up.
Hey, were you the
So
bitch who wanted the out? And, what the fuck's up?
Mm-hmm.
so should we at least try and find some sort of lead to satiate Navi before then? But also, dang, I am so close to Cat, but yet so far.
Navi is the lead.
Oh God.
So
Yeah.
But at the very least, they aren't going to try and kill Skylar's dad, most likely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did get that, if an accident happened to him, there wouldn't be many people particularly upset, but there's probably not anything actively gunning for him at the moment.
Now, specifically, what he said was that if he happened to walk into the path of a boulder, well, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. But the boulder is not going to seek him out.
The boulder is not going to seek him out. Sorry.
I can't believe you just said that. But I want to make it clear sometimes Crace says things in a particular way, and there are very straightforward interpretations, and there are slightly less straightforward interpretations that can be surmised from the way that he says things. So I just want to offer the original phrasing there.
Thank you for that phrasing, because that does that basically changes it from if an accident happens to if he walks into the middle of this and gets shot, that's his fucking problem.
Okay, guys, but why would there be an inside job, right? Because that murder was over 50 years ago.
Because he had information that the assassin was also murdered by somebody dressed in official Warden's Guard uniform.
Yep,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Yeah, that explains a lot. Okay.
He was strangled by someone in a warden's uniform, but he didn't see more than that because, he was being strangled at the time.
Yeah. Quick, someone, let's dig up the body and cast Speak with Dead. Is Speak with Dead a thing in this game?
To be clear, the person who saw the warden or the guard, the person in uniform is Crace, and he did report that.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Mr. Mudspin, well, what level is Speak with Dead? Just out of curiosity. I think it's too high for you guys.
Oh,
Hope
for
it's
sure.
too high for you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't see it when I was looking at my spells for level 4. What
Okay,
level spell is it?
We're good. It's a 3rd level spell. You guys don't have
Yeah.
Oh, level up
not.
and then I'll have it.
Mhm.
you guys don't have it yet though, so we're good.
Literally next level, damn.
Of course.
Yeah, there's a reason this is not a late game arc. It would fall apart.
Yeah.
This is a very similar reason why Kairos had to be lost level and not this level.
Yeah.
And very similar reason that Parker threw all the ghosts at us at level 5 and not level
Yeah.
6.
It's sometimes you gotta do it that way, alright?
Yeah.
Wait,
But
hold
you
on.
know, sometimes you get lucky and stun a ghost. Yeah.
You said 3rd level spells next level? That doesn't make sense, because Soot doesn't
We're
get
level
a 3rd
4,
level.
right?
Over level 4.
We're
Level
4,
5, I
right?
don't think
And then
I
you
get
become
any.
level 5.
I don't get any level 3
I
slots.
do because I'm the. I get level 3 slots at level 5 because I'm a special boy.
Yeah,
I
clerics are different.
Bruh,
Yeah, I think it depends on the
that's
kind of
class
caster.
bias, damn it.
Everybody has a different progression.
I don't get
I
toys.
get nothing else. You have to understand. I get nothing else. Let me have this.
That is very fair, though. You get, like, nothing for skill ranks. I pity you.
I get nothing for skill ranks. You know what the only special thing I get is? My channel energy d6 goes up every other level.
Jesus.
That's
Also true.
it. I'm getting spells early.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, like, to be fair, I have more to bitch about. I literally get nothing, not even the 3rd level spells. So,
L.
Yeah, a
Or
lot
your
of my
whole
spells.
full leveling experience.
leveling experience, hell yeah. I don't even get a
0
bonus
out of
to any of
10.
my saves. Like, I get nothing. Anyway.
But for all of your levels, all of my levels are boring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So anyway.
I don't get a lot of good spells, but boy, are my abilities really good. So
That's the trade-off. If you get good spells, your abilities suck. But if you get good abilities, your spells suck.
PK.
Anyways, we've
All
derailed.
Sorry.
You're good. I relate to your struggles and woes. So, That's why I always play paladins, because they got cool shit all the time.
Yeah.
They do not
This
get
is why I
many
have
spells at all, though.
multi-class.
Nope.
But you guys you met Crace, I believe, yesterday evening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
At the inn, at the tavern.
Went to converse with Jasper and Princess the next day. And now, what are you doing?
Victor is going to start arranging, like, getting the horses back, getting the cart ready to go, that kind of thing.
Soot would probably go out and get us some rations for the road, because it's a, week journey, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's about, yeah. All right,
He'd get
Easy.
enough for all
We
of us.
could also
Oh my
potentially
god. Sorry,
send.
Okay.
I forgot somebody's role. No, it's not a problem. I forgot somebody's role that I need to address. But over text, so we're fine.
Oh,
There is also the option of sending Navi a message going, "Hey, we found something. Would you be willing to meet us in Sonterra so we can discuss it?"
No, I want to go see Navi. I want to get out of the city.
Yeah, but I wanted to just offer that as that is also an option so that we don't.
we can drop
Also,
in
hello,
on
Astros.
Navi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Right hands.
Yes, you
Hello.
can drop in on Navi, bearing in mind that it is a week journey to drop in on Navi.
I don't know if she would agree to come meet us is the problem.
You guys-
I mean, it's worth a shot.
We
Do you
could
still
pay to
have
send a
access
sending.
to magical sendings and stuff?
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just say that
But
we
the
want to talk with
money.
her, and if she can make it here
How much are the
quickly,
sendings?
maybe she should come to us. Otherwise, we're just gonna find her.
Sending cost me like 230 something last time.
Yeah.
What did sending?
How much are
cost?
the proxy sendings again?
Let me double check what I.
We did get some platinum, didn't we? Or no? Oh, Soot got a platinum. That was from.
Yeah, we
Princess-
all have one platinum, and then there's a bunch of platinum that's party platinum.
Princess overpaid with platinum at the
Mm-hmm.
inn, so you guys could have taken that. Sorry, I'm just double checking my spell casting rules.
Yeah, because there's apparently in party funds right now 704 gold from reparations, unless we split that up.
Well, we
Caster
could.
level times spell level times 10 GP, so.
Sending is level 10.
No. 8 times
Okay.
4 times 10 is.
Ray didn't keep that piece of
200.
platinum, right?
320.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ray did not keep the platinum that was given before, right?
No, he did
Okay.
not. He's not a money-based creature.
Okay, then I'm taking that out because I had removed it from party funds when it was going on, and I didn't change that. So we still have 4 platinum from Princess in the bag of holding.
So if we have like 700 and something gold, we could always use that to send a sending to Navi.
Yeah.
Technically, we have over
Because worst
1,000
case-
gold if we count the 4 platinum. I think, right? Is that 40 or 4? I'm being dumb.
40,
That's
40
not,
gold.
that's 40.
It's 40.
Yeah, sorry, my brain was dumb. I'm like, I put an extra 0 there.
Relatable. Me on my pre-calc exam.
I hope
Whoops.
not.
Yeah, we can arrange the sending if that is how we want to do it, or we can take the week too.
That's so much money to spend. Well, she said that she was very fast traveling,
have that
though.
money.
I remember her
Yeah.
saying this. So it might be better to just tell her to come over here and talk with us, and then go back.
I have the money for that.
We do know that she managed to travel weirdly quickly. At least the travel back weirdly quick to Camlin weirdly quickly. So I can make some guesses as to what she can do, but if she can, it'll be easier for her to come to us. Aya doesn't know this, but this is sort of Joe going, we could do it as ascending and kind of
Ask her to come to us.
Okay, here's the thing. If you suggest it to Victor, she's not going to care about the 200 gold. I, Parker, care about the 200 gold.
Well, it's 200 gold or a week's of travel.
And that's why Victor would go for the 200 gold, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
But it also the other reason that I'm suggesting it is that it means we either okay, worst case with either option, we still have to go figure out where the hell she is.
That's true. She could easily
Yeah.
not be home.
Yeah, she could have left.
Although if we do the sending, we should be very careful to phrase it so it doesn't sound like we are accusing her.
Fern would be willing to pay for the sending. Fern doesn't need to spend money on much, and what they do is cheap. So, like, Fern will pay for it.
Yeah,
And we'll also
I
go
would
and do
contribute
it.
as well for very similar reasons.
I can pay for it outright. Like,
So why would she send us on a mission that she might be implicated in then?
Maybe she doesn't think she did anything to hurt him? Or she wanted somebody else to be at fault?
maybe. Or
If that's the case, she could have just bribed someone to falsify a record then.
Well, if she went out.
And that's the only part that's bugging me with all this. Well, there's someone who could look like her, right? Maybe, like, magic can change how you look, so...
But also, it's like, she's an air being. So, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I've been, like, real bad at putting any of the pieces together. I feel like everyone else here is, like, 5 steps ahead of me. I'm still like, wait, what does the Duchess have to do? Why is it an inside job?
Not I feel you.
Hi. Same.
I've put together some of the pieces of, like, you know, the Duchess being involved because, like, you know, she's trying to cover something up, obviously. Why would she be messing with stuff if she wasn't?
Would I feel like I'm the person who's 5 steps ahead. Where are we getting lost? And I don't mean this in a condescending way. I'm like, I want you to understand why this is what I and Victor want to do.
So, I understand the pieces of, like, Navi left the urgent note, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand what the Duchess has to do with it. Like,
Okay.
I don't know where we got on the track of it's an inside job. I don't know where the train started.
Okay. Okay. First off, I want to say, I, as Parker, am not completely sold on this idea. Victor is for completely other related character things that I can't explain.
That's alright.
So there's that.
Victor's deal.
Victor's deal. But here's the train of logic she's following, okay? Mudspin was murdered due to information that he has regarding the assassination of the previous Duke. Okay?
Yes.
For if he has some connection with Navi that is related to that, then possibly finding out that Navi reached out to him regarding that issue might have spurred on a preemptive murder.
Mm.
Yeah, no matter what, it's an inside job, but we just know how far to the topic goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The reason the Duchess's court is specifically suspected, well, A, it was the murder of a duke, and the successor in that case is always a suspect, 100% of the time.
And Krace was killed by someone dressed as a guard.
Yes, so
And
that
her
at
people-
least puts suspect on, if not who in the guard did it, who, like, how did an outside individual get that kind of uniform and access?
And there was
Yeah.
also the point of when we went to Mudspins, there was documents missing, and it turned out that the Duke's people had already been there to collect some things.
The documents that prove that Mudspin was part of the cover-up on Crace's murder.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So maybe the Duchess's court is not specifically guilty. Maybe they are, but even if they aren't, there are important questions about, the specific cover-up around Crace's murder.
But
Okay.
they're
And
also sorry.
And if they didn't kill Mudspin for that cover-up, then, who the fuck did, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, here's another thing though. So it could easily be that, someone within the guard or someone higher up gave whoever the access to that uniform. But it's
Yeah.
also possible that it was stolen or even created with magic.
Yeah.
Correct, but that is an alternate theory that I, as Parker, am aware of. Victor is not thinking about that.
Yeah, and Skylar was not there to mention this because I was dying,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
Victor, there are character reasons for why Victor is fixated on the idea that it is an inside job.
Mhm.
Also, at this point,
That
it's
is-
even if it was somebody trying to frame the Duchess, it still looks bad.
It still looks
Well-
bad, and you're going to have to prove that to Victor to get her to let up.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, it could also have been someone within the Duke's own court too, is a thing.
Yeah, one or the other,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's either
even if
Sorry, Ken?
there is a big question mark around Crace's assassination, and Victor is defaulting to it was an inside job for personal reasons.
There are three answers. Well, there could be another answer that we aren't considering, but here's the three answers I'm thinking of. It was someone related to whoever hired Crace to kill the the Duke and trying to clean up loose ends. It was someone within the Duke's own court, or like you said, it was the Duchess and um someone within her court.
Mm-hmm.
But then
And
again, TK could
I will say, if you bring up the idea that it was the group that originally planned the assassination, Victor's going to shoot back how do you know that that wasn't also the Duchess, hiring those people?
yeah.
There are
Yeah.
questions of causality, and there are questions of who knows what, and there are questions of that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it would help if we could figure out who hired the original assassins, right?
And that's
But-
part of why Victor got so fucking pissed at Crace for Crace not answering any questions about his comrades.
Mhm.
Again, I don't think he could.
Yeah,
Quite
that,
gently.
but
yeah, that was what well, Sid at the very least was like, there's something he can't tell us.
Victor did not know that. Victor just assumed he was covering up in order to not get murdered a second
Yeah.
time.
And
Yeah.
that was
I-
something
I-
Soot kept to himself until later in the day when you had calmed down a bit.
I I am trying to like reinforce the idea that Victor has a certain idea that she is not going to let up on because that is the way that she is. That
May
is
I
part
get in?
of some of the issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
I think PK was trying to talk and then got roboted
Like-
like right as the sentence
Yeah.
started.
Sorry.
Sometimes that happens.
F.
While we are whether in character or out of character musing on the concept of who done it, why doesn't everybody make me either a history or a knowledge nobility check?
Yeah. Also,
Okay.
can I make a check to see if I'm aware of any magics or items that can bind someone from saying specific things? Or
Oh yeah, you can make an arcana check.
okay,
Ooh,
cool. I'll
that's a
make
pretty
the
good roll.
There's
so
someone sitting in the room. You could just ask.
okay, cool. But there's also a chance that you don't know either.
So, history or nobility?
History
Mhm.
or nobility from everyone, and history or nobility plus arcana from Jamie.
I think
Okay.
I'll do history
Oh.
because I don't think
I
Sit
rolled
necessarily had
bad.
an issue or had an idea of like nobility stuff, so
Okay.
Oh
Of
yeah,
course, everybody just pop your numbers in the chat for me, please.
they're the same modifier, but I think Sit was more interested in history instead of nobility.
I am going to be right back, actually, as this is
Okay.
being sorted.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if you want to know about magic effects that make you not able to talk, there's a party member in the room with you who could definitely ask questions.
Yeah,
There's also like
let's
probably more
start
powerful
with
ones.
that arcana check just to get it out of the way. Skylar, you have very much witnessed at various points along your journey together, Fern having to say things in a particular way or act in a particular way, because of the nature of being your friend. And beyond just that firsthand personal experience that you know Fern to have, you also are aware of just countless forms of magic or curses or items or
Yeah.
anything that can force people to either stick by their word in a particular way or always tell the truth or never tell the truth or avoid a particular truth or be bound to a particular lie. There are so many different forms of magic that can do that. It's
Yeah, I
kind of
figured.
absurd.
Especially in
There's
Pathfinder.
too many to sort of distinguish
Yeah.
between, because there are curses, there are things
Hmm.
imposed upon people by the divine, there are things that people impose upon themselves out of righteousness or piousness. There's all sorts of things.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
sadly.
so switching over to the history checks. 16, 19, and 24. So weirdly, Soot probably gets the most from this one. I know Danela got the 24, but Danela, what
I
you
got a
know,
25.
you did nobility, didn't you?
Oh, history. Okay, yeah, sorry.
I'm addressing the history checks. So
Yeah.
let me do those first. We Danela, you are familiar with sort of your parents, such as they were, talked a fair bit about their opinions on various events, current and past, and they had some opinions regarding how policy in certain regions, in their words, went to shit after after the Duchess took power. Your parents are very opinionated.
Oh yeah.
Soot,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Soot, you are also familiar. You come at it from a different sort of stance in the sense of you're very familiar with the local politics of your place and how they have always sort of been steadily moving more towards the welfare of the people, particularly in your very specific region, because they're just really trying to keep a handle on that situation.
Yeah.
But you are aware of other people in sort of the province you're in right now with Santerra and all that. It is the direct neighbor of the Restel province that you live in. And you are aware that people from lower class backgrounds have greater struggles in this province than they do in yours. And that wasn't always the case.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, you would probably. Okay, I'll step out in just one second. Joe, Aya also probably has that sense that in general the poor in this region are poorer than
Yeah.
in several. So that's a relevant bit of context. Give me 2 seconds to rearrange, and then I'll do the nobility checks. All right. I am out in the kitchen. So nobility checks. Fern, I'm gonna say the things I'm about to say to everybody else don't occur to you, not because you don't know them, but because you've got a lot on your mind. Who's next in nobility? Yeah, okay. So Victor and Skylar, you guys both know that even before he was officially, what's the word?
Murdered?
Before he took power,
Okay.
Grand Duke Elias Rembury was not beloved by his fellow nobles for his policy. In fact, he was rather in favor of restructuring the power system in a sense and decentralizing it away from the hands of particularly the dukes and duchesses immediately beneath him, because well, there are different arguments. Skylar, you are aware fully that 50 to 75 years ago there were some serious corruption problems in some of that level of nobility in this province. Victor, you just know that his ideas were not very popular amongst the nobility. They were amongst the general populace for reasons that might be obvious, but generally speaking, he was not everyone's number one favorite Grand Duke.
So I suspect like something gets bigger. Okay.
But when his younger sister, Bennett Rembury, took power, she had many of the same ideas as her brother,
Mhm.
but has consistently been far less vocal about them and has worked on a much smaller scale towards some of the same things. But it seems like she has never been as, when compared to her brother, she has never pushed for the same kind of policy that made the common folk appreciate Elias. And so she's never folded to the wishes of her fellow nobles, nor even to the Grand Prince, but she's also never been a staunch activist. She's just sort of played it safe in a lot of ways.
So kind of like she's a lot more, if we were to use modern real world terms, like left, centrist, left, or whatever, right? Like
Yeah,
a lot
she's
less.
she's more
Yeah.
she's that person who's like genuinely is in support of changed policy, but also keeps tweeting that it doesn't happen overnight, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
So do you get the vibe?
Yeah, yeah. That
Whereas her
actually helps a
brother,
lot.
her brother would have been like, "It can happen overnight if you're a little braver."
Her
Yeah,
brother was
her
like
brother
Bernie
would have been
Sanders.
like, it's not going to happen at all if with that attitude.
Yeah.
Which,
It's it could happen a little faster with a guillotine.
yeah. Which it might seem rich coming from the Grand Duke, but the Grand Duke Elias Rembre was an interesting character in many ways. He was by any human standard very old by the time he took power, but he's a couple centuries, I think 220 or something, which is respectable enough for an elf, but he he had some very strong ideas
They
about
are
how
elves,
he was
though.
going to run things before he took power. And nobody was excited about it. And then he took power, and nobody continued to be excited about it. Speaking of the nobles, the common people received some good policy changes during his time. But
Can I ask a question?
yeah,
They are elves, yes.
they're elves, yes. So
Can I get a rough age on Duchess Rembury?
Duchess Rembury is probably 260.
Okay.
The Rembury family had a grand total of 5 children. Grand Duchess Rembury is the only living one currently. Elias and Bennett were the only full elves. The other two were from well, they were bastards, but who were treated as fully parts of the family. They just were half elves and did not live so long as their siblings.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Good to know.
Cool. That actually helps a lot, PK. Thank you.
All right.
This has only confirmed Victor's conspiracy thinking.
How does that confirm it?
Shut up.
Victor reasons.
Victor doesn't have to think about the sister. Victor doesn't have to think about the sister. Just the Duke.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Where exactly did we leave off so we know where to start off?
I think we're
You
probably
guys
discussing.
have just come from Jasper and Princess.
We're probably
Yeah.
like up in a room trying to like hammer this out, and Victor is
Yeah.
like, "We are going to talk to Navi now."
Yeah,
So-
you guys are in your in room.
Yeah. Thing. That I get where you're coming from, Victor. However, the nobility at the time of the Grand Duke was, assassinated were highly corrupt, and his policies, as you all might be aware, were a lot too radical for a lot of them, and his sister's pretty much in line with his sort of thinking. So I'm not really sure she might be the one who, assassinated him. However, is not to say that someone within his court or one of the other nobles did not have a hand to play. It's my 2 cents in all that. And they take a pop of their bubble pipe. And the little dragon comes out.
So, okay.
So fine, it might not have been the Duchess, but the court is larger than just her.
Oh yes, no, absolutely. Could be anyone within her court, the previous court, or any other nobility out there
Her
within the
court
land.
the court includes the next level of duchy down, even if they're not there 100% of the time.
Yes, I'm aware.
So she's not British, she's Southern. What the
Yeah,
fuck am I
I'm
doing?
just
About to send you a message going,
Yeah.
British
I was
right
about
now.
to have, I was about to have
No.
Scarlet comment being like, "Say, what happened to your voice?"
No,
It's
it was me processing what you were saying and just like copy time.
Mirroring.
Mirroring
Okay.
Yep.
us with Susanna's accent for so long.
God,
God.
me
Yeah.
when I started playing Soot and trying to figure out what the fuck his accent was, and I kept slipping into Southern just like Victor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was kind of gonna. So okay, the court, the Duchess's court is too big for us to deal with. Our lead right now is Navi, right?
Think so.
Yes,
Yes, that's
possibly.
what I'm
Yes.
saying.
Yes, no, that's the
Okay.
only way to go.
So, do we want to go back to Camlin and risk losing any further leads here to talk to Navi, or do we want to ask Navi to come meet us?
I think it might be worth sending a sending first to figure out exactly if she wants us to come to her or if she is willing to come to us. It'd also be a big shame if we went all the way over there and she was not home.
It
Also,
also might be faster for her to come here.
yeah,
Like,
if we leave, we're gonna be gone for 2 weeks minimum.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna lose us.
Because it's a week one way.
Yes,
And we
no,
might-
there's a lot of time to further destroy evidence, unfortunately.
I worry Navi is not going to be receptive to the idea, especially if we're not super clear about what we want to talk to her about.
There's only so much you can fit in a sending. We can say
We can workshop
we
it
found
together.
something we want you to have a bit of a look at.
No.
No. So
Kind of tilt her head and just, why not?
we can come up with something that can draw her here, but like you said, there's only so much we can put in a sending, including the whole "hello, this is someone" sent proxy sending.
Yeah. They will have to use words to do the proxy sending, which she would understand, so we don't have to get into detail in the sending.
I was saying no, we don't want to have her come here to look at something that's going to put her on her guard. She was
Okay.
not super excited about telling us much.
So something different to, or possibly have her meet us halfway so we don't have to go quite as far and
Okay.
lose quite as much time.
Halfway still might not be the way to go, because if I don't know how she travels, it could be anything from a really fast horse to straight up teleportation.
I
So
don't know. My one counter is I don't know what else we're going to get done here. Anyway.
I mean, she's an air creature, isn't she?
As far as we're aware, she's a fletchling,
yes.
which is not exactly air, it's shadow.
But that would, could move faster that way. Maybe.
Not in a way that would matter. I think it might be something greater than her inherent racial abilities that allow her to travel in such a way.
Even if it's not her, I think bringing the concept to her, so that way if she does know anything, she might actually speak this time.
Well, as far as I can see it, there's pros and cons to both. The pros of going to Navi is the fact that if we just show up and she happens to be in Camlin, we'll catch her off guard, or at least as much as we could, and be at a place that at least we'd feel comfortable talking to her. However, there are cons to that as well. She could just not be there. She's known for leaving. She's said that before.
But she did also want to resecure her territory after Lacrimosa
That is true.
was there.
That's why I'm worried she won't want to come.
Yeah, and
And
I
it
think
would-
that is a valid concern, honestly.
It would mean
however,
she'd be more likely to be in the same place, is my sort of thought for bringing that up. Sorry.
you're good. And cons of, pros of the sending of the message thing, the proxy sending, quicker response time, theoretically. Smaller amount of our input, I suppose. I mean, we'd have another whole fucking week of travel, and then a week back if we needed to do anything in the city, but, you know, the cons of that is that she could just say no and tell us to fuck off. If we're already at our doorstep, I mean, she just has to deal with us.
So why don't we, before we do all that, confirm whether or not we have anything more to do within this city? Did sorry, I only remember his fake name. What's his real name? Trace, right?
Grace.
Yeah.
Grace,
So
yeah.
did Trace tell us, give us any physical description of the guard who murdered him in the first place?
He
He
said
wasn't
he was
able to
too
get
busy
involved.
dying.
Yeah, no, very fair. I mean, I've never been strangled to death, but that tracks, I suppose.
Sorry, Aya, you were saying.
No, she just kind of nods and you covered it.
Is there anything that we need from Grace that we didn't get during that conversation? Because we agreed to meet up again, and, I can always enter that conversation with some, questions in mind or information to get, and I feel like I could probably get most of it, but I don't know what we missed.
Well,
Of
short
course,
of the big glaring question, I don't know if there's anything else he can give us.
Yes, no, who he works with, possibly, but he could either he didn't want to answer that, or something was keeping him from answering that.
I'm
And
willing to guess both.
yeah, possibly both.
Probably more the latter. Niches get stitches and all of that, and, well,
And there's a number of spells, curses, yada yada yada, that could make telling the truth very painful. Or worse.
yeah.
So,
I mean,
are we
we
sure?
could just
Sorry,
be friendly.
we could just be friendly, true. So, do you think you could actually get more information out of him if we were to talk with him again?
If it was just me, yes. There are some things you can really only get by dancing around the point. And, you can't. I guess sometimes you can scare the answer by being too direct. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, especially if you're feeling surrounded, I suppose. I'd be less inclined to answer with hostile forces if I was surrounded. Well,
I mean this with no offense. It's just
Victor,
sometimes the way that people are is very, very different.
Victor is making such an expression right now.
So, if you think you can get more out of him, I'd say we at least try that first before moving forward with anything Navi related, and before leaving the city.
So just, I mean, if the answer is just his compatriots, I don't know how useful that will be for me to pursue solely. Um, any other information that might be relevant, because I'm not really the investigative type.
Anything that was, said or mentioned to him by his compatriots before the assassination. Even if we don't know who was hired, who the compatriots are, knowing specific reasons could possibly point us to someone. Um, let's see. We could. Hmm. Hi, Jamie. I'm blinking. Uh,
I mean, anyone can suggest things.
I
yeah.
mean, you might be able to sort of talk your way around possibly a why someone wanted the Duke dead. Why Crace in particular was involved in the Duke's death.
Yes.
Um, because that you should be able to dance around enough to get something of an answer. Or you will be able to get something by what he doesn't say.
Yes. I mean, you can say a lot in gaps and in phrasing. Um, you know,
Iron odds.
dance around the thing that you're not maybe technically supposed to say or do, but well, you know.
I'm
Would
sure
I?
Chris would
Okay,
be.
PK.
Mm-hmm.
Would I know? Crace is just is Crace like this the way I'm like this, or not,
Well,
or is do you know what I mean?
Crace has quite literally always been this way. The way he speaks, the way he dances, the entire time you've known him, and you knew him a long time ago and for a fair while. Um, and it always feels like that's his default. So either he is like this the way you are like this, or he has been taught very, very well how to do that anyway. So my answer is maybe.
But we wouldn't have talked about it because
You didn't
we're
talk
not.
when he talked to you. He talked to you in the sense of change, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and becoming something affected by something else. And he was talking about that one very specific thing in regards to himself, but he might have been talking about more. He was just more focused on one thing. I will say implications from something that Soot overheard do paint a specific picture, but as far as Fern knows from the past, it's plausible that Chris is like you. There's a possibility he is not. Sorry, I know that was such a non-answer.
No, it's okay. Sometimes that's just how it is.
There will be.
Sometimes you can only say so much.
I will say that on top of like the cat got your tongue thing that Suda talked about, there was a thing that he would have mentioned as well about it being like somebody saying that it was a good try about Crace deflecting, and then another part about poor thing Cat's got his tongue. He'll never be rid of that old thing. That is, he didn't get a response on what that means. But then again, the voices don't really tell him that. So.
Interesting.
I don't think it helps exactly, but it's what you get from me.
And possibly, I know he was busy being murdered, but any smell, sensations, sounds, yada yada yada, that he might have heard beforehand, even if it was something as the clanking or the absence of clanking of metal, because that could confirm if the god's uniform was real or not. Because no, if the god's uniform was real, then inside job most likely, or unless still in uniform, or if it was not a real uniform, then who the fuck knows? It could be the assassin group that Chris was hired with, or maybe in another party. And that only raises further answers, but it would still be nice to know.
Well, I suppose we might have to have a vote then. About where we're going, what we're doing. Originally, my vote would have been the sending thing, but quite honestly, I think it would be fun to stop in instead. It'll be a bit for work, for riding that much, but it's not so good to stay in a place for too long. Especially if people know that we've been digging like this, it might be better to get the heat off us for a bit.
Also, did he ever say why he was sleeping in my room? Sorry, Ken.
It was because
you look a lot like your father.
Yes.
Upsetting, but true.
I mean, I didn't ask why he'd want to nuke around here, but
it might be worth checking into.
Could be like celebrity fascination. I don't know.
So it kind of just
Could
snorts a
also
bit at that.
be. I mean, Could you scare Lachlan off a trail, or would that just make him like want to do it?
No, it would make him want to do it more.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw that theory off the table. Probably just for fun, rob a great detective, and then whoops, it's the relative.
It might be worth checking into in case he was up to something more nefarious.
I mean, I can ask. I mean, I'll ask, but I'll have my reconnection first. Old friends and all that.
They just nod and take a puff of their pipe. I do think so. Sorry.
Victor, by the way, here's your knife. You left it in the table.
She is making a different expression.
I love Dawn so much.
And she's going to reach out and take it.
And for holds it out, handle towards Victor. All the good knife safety stuff.
She takes it. She's going to slide it back in her boot. There is such an energy in a corner of the room.
um, I just, I don't know if there's any. If we're going to leave, have we covered all our bases that we should in this time frame?
I believe so. And I mean, I do want to speak to the neighbors of Mr. Mudspin while you're possibly talking to Trace. They might have overheard something that could help. But unless they uncover, give me something we could go off of. We've talked to everyone who works there. We've talked to, Slindwood. We've talked to, oh crap, what's the name with the cute guy?
Jasper?
We've talked to Jasper. We've talked to as many people that are connected to him as possible right now. Now all I have to do is do due diligence and talk to the people in the area, namely the people directly across from his window that might have been able to see or overhear something.
Ombus.
Ombus?
Ombus.
Ombus?
Ombus.
Oh, oh my goodness.
Okay, I was so confused. Oh my god.
Sorry, I saw an adorable kitty cat.
Oh, what a baby. Oh, just a little back away when you kiss him.
I know, he doesn't like kisses.
Aww.
He is allowed to not like kisses.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
that's
rubbing
true.
tail.
He's rubbing
That's
on the
true.
screen exactly where your guys' names are.
Oh,
my
God.
we lose us. Hi, buddy.
But also, if he didn't,
Oh my god, his
if
little
he didn't-
tubby tail. Oh my god.
He's
It's
if
so
he
perfect.
didn't want
small.
a kiss, then why did? If he didn't want a kiss, then why does he have the space between his ears?
So true.
So true.
I love him.
If not meant to be held, why baby shaped, as my
Yeah.
brother-in-law said.
Like
Yeah.
it's not only are they baby shaped, but they're about the same weight as a baby too. So like the same size, shape, weight, like they're meant to be held.
10
Are they
pound
the same
baby.
shape as a human baby?
Might as
If you
well.
flip them over, yeah.
Yeah.
On that note, what are you guys up to?
Take vote on if we want to leave or not, and also you guys wanted to do some questioning, right?
Yeah.
Victor is pouting a little bit.
I mean, hey, Soot's taking your side on the wanting to leave, to be fair.
No, that's
Yeah.
not what she's pouting about, and she's not visibly pouting. She's only pouting internally.
Yeah.
I love her so much.
I love Victor and Fern's hostility.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Victor's hostility towards Fern and Fern's aggressive ambivalence.
Yeah.
Fern at this point thinks it's really funny to pretend that nothing is wrong.
Good. It's incredible. He is correct.
Fern is fully aware that Victor hates them and has made the decision to pretend that they don't know this just to see how it plays out.
So fucking awful. I love
He's just
Fast
aggressively a
agree.
guy.
It's some guy summer.
Yeah.
So true.
It's some guy summer and we're all participating.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to gather information and then vote, or vote and then gather information?
I think either way, like if we are sending a message between that, like in the time sending a message, contacting Grace and starting is fine. If we're not sending a message, the time that it will take Victor to get everything ready to go can also be the time people are doing other things. So I don't think it matters.
Yeah. Personally, Aya is willing to go with majority. She was originally in the camp of maybe we should stick around, and then Soot pointed out that maybe it's known that we've been asking questions, and
Yeah.
frankly,
Yeah.
she'd like us to. She'd like to not get jumped for being involved in asking questions. So
Yeah.
perhaps
it's
the
also,
safer
Yeah.
option is to
we've
not
also
go.
stayed in this place how many days, PK?
It's been a good, I want to say, at least 5 days. I can't, I think 5 is probably about right. Maybe
Mhm.
6.
Yeah. Plus,
Sid has
unless
been known to not like staying in places more than a week.
So
unless whatever Fern uncovers or whatever Skylar uncovers, unless those give us something useful, there's no point in staying here. If it all points to the monarchy.
I think I think it's shaken out that we're gonna it's the plan is to leave, but we're gonna wait to see what Fern and Skylar get.
Okay.
And then we ambush Navi.
Yeah.
Also, PK, I swear to God, we better not get back here and find out Rosie got fucking murdered for Mudsman's stuff.
Right?
I know, that's my concern.
I know, guys.
That would suck.
Guys, that
We're
would
all-
make Jasper so sad.
No, we're missing the key thing here, guys. Jasper is no. Jasper could never be the murderer.
Only
You
of
think-
leaves.
Nix, you
Yeah.
bastard.
What did Nix do?
What did
Oh,
Nix
no.
do?
Crimes. Hold on.
No. She could never do crime.
Oh, hello.
Oh, baby.
Oh, I love her so
I love your hair.
much.
Hair.
Her
Yeah,
eyes
the
are
hair looks very
yeah.
Oh yeah, it
good.
looks so good.
Yes, the blue
Hey.
agenda.
She was trying to bite open the dried mango package.
God.
Crime.
I mean, I can't
Great.
blame her. Dried mango, goddamn.
The blue
PK, the
hair
beast ran away.
agenda. Yes.
Yeah, blue hair agenda is real. It's definitely a lot darker than I expected, but it's also still damp. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair.
me miss my blue hair.
but also I
Dye
miss
blue,
having
my
darker
agenda
hair.
rises.
I really like how darker hair makes me feel. So I'm very pleased.
Yeah, it looks so
It
good
looks
on you.
awesome.
her blue in November.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
I make you blue.
blue. Anyway,
Blue.
so
Points at PK, blue hair and pronouns.
but so true. Fern talk to Grace. Skylar talk to neighbors.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, who wants to go first?
Can I just say for my brain purposes, can people just write in the VC chat what they want Fern to talk to Grace about? Even if it's like something occurs to you mid-conversation and we'll just assume that we briefed it beforehand, because I'm not going to be able to keep it straight in my head.
Okay, that's
Thank
very
you.
fair.
Ew,
I don't know what to say,
Yeah, I know,
Grace,
right?
but if somebody else wants to write down what they're thinking, go for it.
And I went back and read the original messages where I was told about Krace, and I full forgot in those original messages I was basically told he did the Duke stabbing.
That is true. I did basically lay that out for you.
It was yes, that it was laid out for me, and I forgot and just was like, funny cat man. And so that I have more information in my brain about Krace now.
Woo!
Mhm.
Funny cat man.
Sometimes you die as a cat and wake up as a man, and it's like, oopsies.
Whoops. Uh-oh.
Which is an experience that would be somewhat more relatable if we still had Cal.
Anyway,
Well, L for Cal for dying again, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, well,
all right. Let's just start. Fern, I'll say for the sake of convenience, you're able to track down your good buddy Krace fairly easily. he's in a diner eating French fries.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
This man is hungry.
You know
Yeah.
what? Wouldn't you be?
Ideal.
If you were
In
just a little
his
kitty cat.
circumstance, wouldn't you be hungry?
Mm-hmm.
Also, let's get one thing straight. You know, you guys watch Ocean's 11?
Yes.
No.
No.
You know how Brad Pitt is eating in every single scene in that movie?
Yeah.
Me.
It's about the character, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He's better when I'm eating something.
Very fair. You gotta have your mouth stuffed.
So.
Oh, that was a bad way to say that. Never mind, don't.
He's being a menace behind you, I think.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way.
Sorry, I've died.
Oh no! You can't do that.
How am I supposed to run the game now?
No!
Franklin, what have you done?
I'll leave the Discord. I'll go away.
No, Sarah, live with the consequences of your actions.
No.
Anyway,
This is what happens
pretending
when I'm
that didn't
just.
happen.
This is what happens when I just talk and I don't think. I need to think more.
So funny though.
I hate it.
To be fair, it was really, really funny.
It's really, really funny. Also, I need to go back to the Ocean's 11 thing for a minute. I did lie.
Yes.
There is exactly one scene in the movie where he's not eating. It's when they're going down the ropes in the SWAT gear.
Oh God.
Because that would be impractical.
I-
But every
well,
single other scene,
enjoying
he
that
is
scene,
completely
Lord.
fine. That'd be funny.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Going down in SWAT yard,
right?
he's just crunching an apple.
He's
He's-
got like
he's
the
got the
helmet. You can't see
helmet
his
on.
face, right?
you can see
you
his
don't
face
know
for
he
part of
doesn't.
it.
You don't know he doesn't have built-in snacks in the helmet.
Oh my God.
You know what?
Yes. Yes.
There's
yes.
a diner.
I've tracked down my good buddy. And I think that the conversation will start. We will have a good, fun conversation. Normal start.
A
That
little
was a
small talk
sentence.
moment.
Yeah, small talk moments. And
Regular
once it's actually like settled, Fern will be like, so, unfortunately, my compatriots still have questions that they want answered. And
here I thought I had done such a remarkable job of answering them.
I know, but sometimes it's also, you talk with your buddies and, you have a conversation. You're like, oh, wait, I should have asked maybe, 2 more questions than I actually did. And then it's like, oh, well, have to go have the conversation again. It's always more
they
awkward
really
the
should
second
have.
time.
Why didn't you invite all your friends to join us at that table? I'm sure they would have had fascinating input. Not, of course, that I did not appreciate the company of your lovely Jess. She's quite something.
Jess is quite something. That was Jess's idea to, have others scout, I must confess. I would have, I think it would have been nice if there were, others present. I'm sure Skylar would have also had very many questions for you. Speaking of, because you did break into their room.
I closed their window.
Oh, sorry. You did close their window.
Did close the window.
And I guess they were just curious, as if there was, any reason in particular. It's there, or that maybe the person you had mistaken them for's window.
Yeah,
Why,
I was gonna say I
closing
really
that
had
window.
no idea it was your dear friend's window. I assure you, I would have never attempted to close it had I been aware of the true identity of the inhabitant. You see, I didn't read the name on the guest book too closely. But,
But who's, why would you want to close the person you might have, mistaken them
anyone's
for's
window.
window?
I mean, I guess the thing is, is that I don't know. I don't know the best way to phrase this,
That's quite all right.
but I think you might understand it in some capacity. I I quite liked number 5. I did.
Hmm.
And while I understand that people have jobs to do, believe me, I understand people have jobs to do. I suppose I was curious. Call me a stereotype, but I, I was curious to see what anybody might have to say about the fact that well, I know you just suppose that a grand old detective with a vested interest in certain things might be able to notice when things ain't all as they seem. But it doesn't seem like he did, so I suppose my curiosity was more if it was sheer luck through bumbling incompetence that got him to me the first time, or if he truly is capable, as all they say, uh, and just didn't care. Do you follow?
I do follow. The
So I guess it
first
was
time?
curiosity. It was that led me to close that window.
Hmm. The
And I
first time? Did I miss something in our earlier conversation? I
Oh,
feel like
I
I
think
must
I
have.
just was. I think that was a matter of poor phrasing on my part.
Ah.
Um, I, I think when I mean the first time, I mean, he solved this big case some 50 years ago. Um, there was this assassin, um,
Oh, yes, right. He
and
was the
he
one who
and he
solved
was the
that
one who
case.
caught them. And then something happened
Oh.
later after that, and nothing, and he sort of had lost interest in the case, it seems, because there
Oh,
was
right.
certainly things that if I had been a detective at that time, alive even at that time, being a detective at that time, I think I would have been greatly curious about it, considering especially as it was a case so relevant to me. But alas, I am not a detective, nor was I a detective then. Only him.
We
So
can only hope that I think you would be a great detective.
I think I would be a marvelous detective, but what can I say? I closed a window. I think I had been hoping to have some kind of satisfaction to my curiosity. But I suppose it is not destined to be.
Sometimes that is just the way things decide they're going to go.
Indeed. Anyway, I did leave a note, by manner of
I
apology for that closed
I
window.
I heard. Um, I'm sure that the apology will be accepted if it has not been already.
I'm so glad to hear that. I really do. I mean no bad blood between families. Of course, you can hardly help who your father is.
Yes. Um. See, now my brain is just a list of questions they've given me, and I don't know how to segue properly. Because I mean, Skylar also had this like very particular question, which I'm pretty sure the answer to it will be an answer I've received before asking about this same event, which is metal clinking at when the guard sort of trying to not ask this directly. I feel so weird asking about this.
Don't you worry, you don't have to finish the question. I know how much it would ache and pain you. I don't see the thing. I do hate as much as I would love to slake your dear friend Skylar's curiosity, especially as it is quite refreshing to see that they have curiosity where their father had none. The fact of the matter is that was a lifetime ago, quite literally. 6 came and went between then and now, and you know how sometimes when you reach back to times where things were a little different, things get sort of fuzzy around the edges.
I was just about to say that.
It's challenging, isn't it?
Yeah. See, I didn't think that would be a very effective question.
I do apologize for what I'm sure may come off as my lack of being forthcoming. I do try, although in that instance, I must say I don't try too hard to clarify the blurriness, if you understand me.
Yeah. Some things, some events should best be left, I think.
I agree.
So now I understood that this was what my compatriots would be most curious about, but I also must admit I don't really like asking this either, because they are very, very concerned with your compatriots, and I don't think that is a very effective line of questioning, but I don't know exactly what routes are the least sort of usable.
Well, I will tell you one thing, Fern. While it is admirable and even noble that your friends believe I had compatriots, I believe the definition of compatriot is one that one could believe would stand alongside them or have their back in any capacity, and I don't believe I have compatriots, nor did I have them.
Then is there a better word for us to be using then?
Now, that's where things get tricky. Because your friends, they ain't really asking about my compatriots. They just chose that term because of perhaps an assumption. Your friends are asking about my manner of employment. Or at least I should assume, based on context and based on how insistent your Jess was after a particular line. And the reason that gets tricky is the fact of the matter is I'd really rather talk about just about anything else, Fern.
See, I would as well.
But
if they want to pursue that, I can relay that it's your employer and give them a better understanding of the situation. If they want to pursue that line of questioning, I think that they should, and see how far that they get.
And if I might offer a word to the wise,
Of course.
they don't want to pursue that. Not really. They might think. They might think they do. But they don't. Not really. They don't wanna. They don't wanna dig that grave, I'm sure. But
Anything in particular I should warn them about if they decide to grab a shovel? Or just to not grab it at all?
well, tell them that the ground, cold, dark, and inviting. And that I don't even think. But on the matter of compatriots, it's this. I mean, the sense of the word that I like is just someone you can have that trust with, that connection with, and rely on them. And so it's sort of like when you have that trust completely demolished, it does leave you with a bit of a sour taste in your mouth. For example, if one were to, if going back to that detective analogy, I was working with a little bit earlier. I understand everybody has a job, and if I was a detective, I probably would like a rat. I think that would make my job easier. Still doesn't mean I am fond of the concept. But that is neither here nor there with regards to your actual question. Any
No, but
others?
I understand. And I assume 50 years ago was your employer
Well,
asking for your involvement in the situation? Or is that an
well,
incorrect one to make?
it's the assumption that I think would be most reasonable. If you're asking if somebody who lived 50 years ago, 50 years ago, would just decide one day to take actions as we're taken. Now, I may be mad, but I don't think I'm even mad enough for that.
And I assume the conversation goes on to other topics because I'm out of things to say.
Yep, we can
Unless there's something I should have asked.
carry on. Anybody have any last minute additions to the question pool?
Don't think so.
All right.
Not from me, at least.
The why he got involved got answered because he got hired. But that's a fair
Yeah.
enough answer.
And that being the case, as you're sort of getting ready to leave Fern, he does just one more thing, Fern.
Mm-hmm.
I do apologize.
For anything in particular, or will I find out?
I guess it could be for any number of things. I can't help feel that somehow between 5 and now, I probably done you wrong somewhere along the way. In fact, I'm pretty certain I did.
Really?
I don't know. But if I had had the option to do things a different way than now any of it, I think I would have liked that. But sorry. She's being a bitch. But I guess this is the path we're on now, and this is the path we shall stay on.
Mm-hmm.
Are you heading out of town?
We're deciding. And well, whatever they decide will be what I will do.
Some things don't change.
No. I
I
mean,
think I asked you once if you ever wished that they did. That answer change? Ever?
hold on, I'm looking at what the answer was.
Fern had said that
I
no, they didn't wish.
Mhm. Well, you know, I don't. I think I've forgotten how to think about it that way. Because I was just going to say, I don't, you look so different now, and I don't think I've changed a day.
No. You really haven't. I've changed too much. But it's been good to see you, Fern.
Been good to see you too. It's funny, right before I came here, I asked after you.
Did you really? To whom?
Navi, actually. What?
Navi.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a name I have off the top of my head.
It's the person who sent us on this whole journey over here. Friend of Mudspin's.
They got a different name?
Not that I recall hearing, although the likelihood is that, lots of different names.
That's the way it tends to go. Are they,
What?
Are they... He's making a gesture you do not recognize.
Tell me what that means, and maybe I can answer your question.
I think I mentioned people I was friends with a while back in during 5. You know, people who done some favors for me.
Oh, yes. She does many favors. We were sent to her about a favor, actually, that we'd acquired through, accident, but.
Right. All right. Okay. Yeah. I Where's she work now?
Um, I forget the fucking name of the city.
City is
Um,
Camelin.
Camlin. I was like, it's a cam sound. I didn't remember the second half.
Pro camel.
Sorry. Yeah, camel. That's what it is. Uh,
Camel.
um, um, Camlin. She's a
Hmm.
fetchling.
Is she?
As far as I'm aware.
All right. And I don't suppose she had anything interesting to say about me. I don't
No.
suppose any of that group has heard much of me since, well, I will say, as a whole, they did do right by me, I think. It's just that one weak link, sort of well, you know what they say about chains.
Yes.
But it is my understanding that weak link was um sent back to the blacksmith and melted soon after it was noted to be weak. So maybe things are better now.
I would have very much hoped, though.
I hope you have safe travels, Fern.
Thank you. I I hope you do as well.
Thank you kindly. I'll see you around.
See you around.
And he gets up and he heads out.
French fries.
French
All
fry
right.
in hand.
Right? Yeah. Man's got his fries. It's fine. All right.
All that
Well, more
matters.
information.
For a while during that, my eyes are bouncing back between Mary and and Nyx behind you. She was just sitting behind you for a while, longest time.
Yeah, she was.
She's
She was
so
Happy
pathetic.
cute.
baby.
She is a baby. She's sitting over on her thing there right now.
Aw.
Child.
Skylar, you wanted to talk to the neighbors.
Yeah, yeah. Um, if no one wants to come with her, she'll just wear a disguise and then under disguise when she's there.
Okay, yeah. So you can easily enough do that, unless does anybody want to go with?
Mm,
Victor's busy getting stuff ready to go.
I think we can smooth through this pretty
Cool, cool.
quick.
Yeah, she'll just
Um,
disguise herself then.
if you want to make a diplomacy check to chat up the neighbors,
Yeah. Because I imagine there's a few, so I can just give you some questions and you can tell me the answers, possibly. Let's see. Where's diplomacy? Gotta scroll up. So many checks. Oh, plus 14. That's great. Okay, that's a 27. 13 plus 14.
okay. And what questions do you have for the neighbors?
Yeah, no, just, you know, I assume she has some sort of badge, just, hello, working to, just hoping to inquire about if you heard anything unusual and or heard or smelled anything unusual, heard, smell, or saw anything unusual uh around the evening of Mr. Mudsman's death. anything that could be useful that or yeah, essentially that. Because I imagine they weren't going to go snooping on a murder. That's how you get killed.
Yeah. So you ask around with a 27. What you get mostly, you get from the neighbor who's just sort of um, closest to Mr. Mudspin's place. You get that they'd heard what they thought was some clunking, maybe just one like clunk, maybe some broken furniture, some dropped something, but that was it didn't sound like a thud, it just sounded like maybe a clunk, like a drawer had come out of its um tracks, or like a
Something not like a
not
body
not
hidden
even
in the
really like
floor.
a drawer come out of its tracks, like a just some kind of clunk, or a, a, just a sound that was sort of dull and sharp at the same time, but couldn't really describe much more than that. The further away neighbors, you get one who sort of confirms that when you sort of bring up the idea of was there a sound at around this time, and they think on it and they say, yeah, yeah, there was this sort of a sharp sound. Startled me. Didn't think much of it after that. Um, Thought it was like a tree branch cracking. And the farther away neighbors don't really have much to report in terms of sound or smell or sight. Um, but yeah, so that's sort of the what you get is that clunk or crack or dull, sharp sound.
And for Mr. Mudspin's autopsy, was it determined that there's any blunt force trauma, or was it just strangulation?
It was strangulation, and there was a hole in his skull.
Okay, yep, there we go.
So,
Yeah, no. Mhm. Yeah, they would thank them, wish them a pleasant evening. You know, if they remember anything else, um, tell Rosie and she could pass it along. Um, and then also give Rosie a means to contact her, like, contact them before they leave.
all right, yeah, you can get Rosie
Yeah,
I
probably
don't know
told.
why I was going to say business card. Probably not a business
Yeah,
card.
like, they really do have business cards, but like also I think because they are traveling a lot, get it to Ward, then Ward could tell her, and then yada yada yada.
Yeah, yeah. That you get a means of contact to Rosie. Certainly. And she says she will let you know if anything changes. Um,
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah, she'll let you know if anything changes. Um,
Then I
she
wish her the
seems
best of
as
luck.
sort of
Sorry.
tired and stressed as she usually is when you see her.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Sky would ask if there's anything that they could do for her while they were there. Even if it's, going out and fetching her some tea or a dessert or something. Yeah. And then also, just, wish her literally the best of luck because, yeah.
Goddamn, yeah. She. Thank you, very kindly, Detective Locke. I do appreciate it. Um, I wish you the best of luck in working all this out.
Yes, thank you. Hopefully, sometime soon we can bring some sort of justice to Mr. Mudflint's death and maybe even possibly really close out what happened here 50 years ago. Hmm.
Yeah.
It's, yes. And I'm
Good
sorry.
luck, Detective.
Yes, yeah. And I wish you the best of luck here. And when we're back, I'll check in on you,
All
make sure
right.
everything's okay.
You take
Pleasant
care
evening.
now.
Pleasant evening, ma'am. Just a little bow of their head, and off they go. disguise on as soon as before they leave, and then out the door.
And okay. And with that, you guys are pretty much able to conclude your business, get any traveling supplies you need, get ready with your horses and your wagon, and set a course back towards Camlin, which is going to be about a week's travel. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys would like to do as you're setting out, sort of afternoon of Serenith 16th?
Can Sid just do a little listen on our way out, or as we're just
Yeah, sure.
getting a vibe for what they're feeling in there?
Yeah.
Do I want to roll the Sid dice, or do I want to roll the Opal dice? Opal dice betrayed me last time. We're rolling Sid dice. Ooh, that's good. What is my modifier? That's looking in the wrong place. 22 listen check.
22. Okay. As you're heading out from the city, the first thing that you hear is one of the quieter voices that doesn't speak up as much. Say, watch your step. And that's all that it says. The second thing you hear, which is maybe a little more typical in terms of what you tend to get when you listen in on these conversations, is between two voices, and one of them says, I mean, it's one way to do it. And the other one says, come on, he's very good at what he does. And the first one says, sure, but I don't think it's going to work out well for him this time. And that's what you get from that listen check.
There goes the next
Soot just
life,
has-
guys.
I can't believe Soot just gets roasted all the time. Oh,
And you
Another
guys
one bites the dust.
head out onto the road.
oh,
Yeah,
quick
Jim?
thing. Oh, yeah, I would like to, because I think we bought, fresh food supplies before we left Camlin. I would like to, shore up on those supplies. So I'm pretty sure they're gone, and put them in my bag of holding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I just want to swing by Jasper's and let him know that she's going to be heading out for maybe the next 2 weeks.
Okay, good. I was gonna ask if you
Oh.
were gonna do that, but you were muted.
Oh, if you're gonna do that, Skylar would, give you, buy chocolate covered bugs for you to give to Jasper.
My hair is getting longer and the Jasper hair is getting harder and harder to see through.
You gotta do the hair, PK.
I have to do the hair. I just can't see anything now. And Jasper is excited to see you. Aya! Are you leaving?
For now, we'll probably be back in about 2 weeks, depending on how things go.
That's not very many weeks.
It's not.
Oh, I love him.
Might be 3.
That's not very many weeks either.
Oh,
God. I love him.
What are we gonna do with Jasper, you guys?
Cry.
Crucial to this party now.
Real.
I hope it is good. for the 2 weeks or for the 3 weeks. And I hope Princess is not too busy. And I hope Rosie is not too busy.
Oh.
And I hope you are not too busy. But I
Oh my
will
god.
have sand for you and leaves when you come back.
You, Jasper. Also, I was given these to give to you.
What are they?
Hold there. Yeah, crickets covered in chocolate. Little known advantage of the new shapes we're in. We can have chocolate safely. He gives him a double thumbs up, and he's going to report back to Skylar that the chocolate covered crickets were a success.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Uh,
so,
No, sorry. Go for it.
I was just going to say you can easily leave Jasper's and get on the road unless there's anything else people would like to have taken care of before they leave Sonterra for the time being.
I forgot that mine doesn't come in.
No.
All right. Then I think we will call it there with you guys getting on the road and
Road.
heading back towards Camlin. Sorry that we had such a late start and therefore had a shorter session tonight.
That's okay.
You know how it be when you
Thank you
It's
for
fine.
the session.
when you need to dye
Thank
your
you.
hair and then you get into grad school.
You have to have
Yeah.
pronouns and do hair.
Yeah.
Look, I was literally having such a fucking like mental health moment earlier today, and I was like, why does everything suck? Like why am I not happy? And then I was like, I need to dye my hair. And you know what? It did fix me. I was right.
Yeah.
I
That
followed the
helps me
same
too.
method.
Same.
Literally